course.
And welcome back to the meta breakdown, as we promised. Now, exciting, after this round with Tamyo, and I already started to ask you, so do we remember how many Tamyos do we have in the meta? In top 16.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, you forgot.
3.
Yeah, it was 3 Tamyos.
What do I win?
Well, nothing. Good day, sir. But it's 3 Tamyos. One of them definitely going to top. We've seen right now because Lukasz
The top bracket.
Yes,
To the top
that-
8.
That's what we are saying.
Top 8, top 8.
That's right.
Top 16.
The first top 8. The winner's top 8.
The round, the fun rounds is just finishing, so we are not in the next round yet.
That's right.
Just wanted to say
We don't know the definite results of all of those matches, but we definitely know result of the
so
feature
some of the
match.
players we are talking about are in the top bracket, some are in the lower bracket, and it's being decided right now. We just want to take the whole 16 because we
Absolutely.
haven't got the time before.
Exactly. But now, as we said, so the most represented deck is Tamyo with 3 decks representing it. Now, can you try to guess what's the second one?
Slime food.
Slifoot and Squids on 2, and you might remember that outside we spoke about that's basically it on 2 decks. There is just one more, and that is the combination of Rogwrath, if I'm pronouncing that correctly,
And Silas.
and Silas.
There are 2 Rograk Silas.
2 Rogwrath Silas decks.
Wow,
which is
believe
interesting.
There was only one, and that case they are both similar versions, I believe.
Yeah, they might be very similar. I just might do a real quick check on
Because
that.
the Rograk Silas, the last couple of mentions on NTG Top 8 is usually some kind of storm variant that really abuses the fact that you have a 0 mana commander, which is legal, but the partner rule is nerfed due to the fact that you can only cast one of them throughout the
Okay,
game.
scrap that. Those guys should should be crossed. Well, they are brothers. They have the same surname, but they are both in top 16.
Yeah.
They have the same name. So there's only one Silas. I'm sorry.
I thought I saw only one.
Yeah,
I
in
was a
the
bit
in the
confused.
meta breakdown, you're absolutely right. There is only one. The other guy, and now we are just getting
It's
to
Yoshimaru.
singletons. Very good. It's Yoshimaru. So we have 2 Yoshimarus, but not the same builds. Well, Jakub's build that we saw earlier was Yoshi and Crown, but as he said, it's just
Tiny bit of
it's just
blue.
Boros with mental misstep.
Just a small drop of the blue
Yeah,
mana.
it's just a little. Well, it's not even a drop. There's just one volcanic island, and that's it.
Yeah. One
So
molecule of water.
basically, it's Bruce Starl, well, Yoshi and Bruce, and Yoshi and Bruce is the second one we have in top 16. So you have 2 Yoshimarus, one with the traditional, well, more traditional Bruce Starl, only 2.
In the top 16.
If I'm not
No,
mistaken,
Yoshimaru Sylas.
uh,
Us?
I'm checking the
had on streams.
list.
Yoshi and Sylas ran. Yeah, because we got one Rock Sylas,
Yeah.
and you got one Yoshimaru and Sylas.
Okay, that's on me. That's on me. There was just Silas and not Yoshi written in the meta share.
It is
Okay, so
about
3
time.
Yoshis. I'm sorry.
Okay,
So, well, that's interesting. We have 3 Yoshimarus and 3 Tamyos.
And we have 3 different Yoshimarus.
Absolutely. Well, the Crown and Bruce Star are basically the same style.
But this one, as we saw earlier today, because it was one of the
Feature
figure-
match, yeah.
I don't know which round it was.
It was at the start of the day, I believe. Like 3rd round, 4th round, something like that.
second or third.
Could be.
I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we saw the deck, so it plays kind of differently. Doesn't have a deck chock full of legends, just only also have the counter spells.
Yeah, and there
to
are some
present
spicy
directions.
options. Spicy options
Yeah.
with blue. Like
Also,
definitely like the K9, for example, or Pippin was there as well.
You got
Yes.
Bowmasters.
You get Brewmasters as well. There's a lot of nice options.
Yeah.
And now a lot of one-offs.
Yep.
It's basically it for duplicates.
And that's perfect, right?
I love that.
Diverse.
I love that. Diverse
top
meta.
16, because no 6 times Tamyo. And consider that it is not top 8 yet.
Yes.
We know that one Tamyo is in the top 8, right?
We don't know
But-
if the others.
But yeah. So
Yeah.
there is a very regular possibility that we have 8 different decks in the top 8, and you couldn't get this diversity in any other form.
I just love that. I just love that. And even like, okay, the top 8, even the bottom top 8, there is a lot of different variants altogether.
You had to have a really good round today to get there.
Yeah, exactly. And now to the decks. So we have. Can you try to guess?
What decks are
Any,
there?
just any that could be there.
The first sliver.
Absolutely. We will see the first
so.
sliver again.
Not
It's a fantastic deck.
Not that version. I believe this is the second one.
That
Unfortunately.
might be.
But not unfortunately.
It might be similar.
Yeah. Maybe something different.
Yeah, could be as well. We don't really know. 100%.
Different convoke. Sorry.
Yeah, different cascade.
Yeah,
Okay.
cascade.
Any other guesses?
Okay.
Some strong choices from today as well.
Well, Aragorn.
Aragorn. There is one Aragorn. Absolutely. One that we also saw today on the coverage. The one we were not present for.
Yeah, that was Gerson.
There is one Gerson in top 16. Unfortunately, I know he's not in the top bracket. I spoke to the person, so he's in the lower side.
And you know who he?
I don't know who he played with, unfortunately. Then we have Yuri.
Yep.
Which
playing
is
right now.
Yeah, and that's a
battling
fantastic
the, Martin Velas with the Yoshimaru.
Yeah.
Don't know how it ends
Yuri
up
is
yet.
a fantastic deck, honestly. I just
it's
love the
fun.
value, just the sacrifice shenanigans there.
Yeah. There is no deck like that one. And
Absolutely.
It is the beauty of Dual Commander. Not only we see the really stereotypical archetypes
Yeah.
in
Deep
control,
yeah.
all control, or all aggro, all combo. We
Yeah.
also have these interesting decks. We have no enchantress.
Yeah, well, you
For
could
example.
play cities, but it's
Cities.
not the
Yeah,
most
no,
popular
I want to
choice.
say it is not present today, cities.
Yeah,
right?
it is not
but
today.
It is one of the decks that you have a really competitive choice
Yeah.
and play such an interesting and specific archetype.
Absolutely.
As you mentioned, the Yuri as a distinct archetype in the sacrifice region, the deck can put a lot of pressure.
Absolutely.
It
Absolutely.
can also go through the more combo-ish route, trying to one-shot kill with sacrificing all
And
primary
there are
to
options for it,
Greater
definitely.
Gargadon and stuff like that, and all the different archetypes. Some other? Spicy
You
one?
can try to guess one more. You will probably think about it. It's more of a control-y deck.
Okay.
We spoke about a big bad.
Atraxa?
Atraxa,
Yes.
absolutely. There is
Just
singleton
so
Atraxa.
good.
Yeah, very good. You're doing very well. There is one Atraxa,
Okay,
which we spoke about quite a lot, so we don't have to break it down. It's a deep control, you could say. Just a lot of value, a lot of controlling. Then you play Atraxa, and you win? Question mark?
Yeah,
Basically.
Or you play Dream Horse and
Yeah.
you play something else and then you win.
It's a sort of, it can have like a combo win-ish, sort of. Okay, there is also an aggressive deck. Super aggressive deck.
Feldon.
There is one Feldon,
There
absolutely.
were a lot of them.
Absolutely.
And I still, even some matchups are really toxic for the deck. Consider it to be competitive.
Yeah.
By the sheer consistency the deck is of being filled with similar cards like aggressive creatures and burn spells. So we have the one, okay?
At least one. And the last deck we did not mention is Golos. Tireless Pilgrim, which is a fantastic choice.
And I would like to see what kind of version it is. because
Absolutely.
Usually it is some kind of a mid-range value goals that
Could be.
plays a lot of interpretable creatures, maybe some creature-based combos, but you can play it. And I also built a lot of variants. You can build it heavily towards blue or heavily towards black. You can
Yeah.
play it reanimator, because you can bring tutor the reanimation lands,
Yeah.
have enough mana to cast those big creatures. There is so many choices because you have
Absolutely.
you can play land deck. Yeah.
Well, honestly, I would love to see Maze's End as a deck here. Unfortunately, I don't believe
Yeah.
the fact that Maze's End will be presented here. Not really sure about that.
We got 5 minutes to the next round. You think the Gloss is not Maze's End deck?
I believe
Not the game
that
deck?
we can check it though, but I don't really think that. But also, we basically, if I look at this, we have a very nice representation of aggressive archetypes, which is like the Yoshimaru decks are usually quite aggressive. The Felden and Gerson are both very aggressive, different angles, but still super aggressive decks.
The Gerson deals damage, Feldon deals damage. It's
Yeah, well, I would say that the Felden is more consistent.
Yep.
Gerson is more explosive.
and as a trade-off, he has the variant, as we saw in one of the games, a chance to play a bit more controlling.
Absolutely, absolutely. You can just like chill for a bit, and then you kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you top deck the island and don't care
Absolutely.
about
Yeah,
that.
absolutely. That's the one we saw, and it was just fantastic. Now, when it comes to like the mid-range style of decks, you've got the Slime Foods.
Yeah,
You've got
obvious
Yuri as well. It's sort of a similar-ish.
I would put it more
More
in
aggressive?
the aggressive bracket.
Yeah, more aggressive.
But yeah, based on build, you can put it
Yeah.
in the mid range.
It can
mid
take
range
the
as
angle,
well.
at least.
As outdoor, it is not a deck that is easily specified by those three distinct archetypes.
Right, you're absolutely right. It's very specific. Then the Ragrak duos. What do you think? How would you classify it? Like it's
With Silas?
yeah, with Silas.
That's a combo deck.
Yeah.
So
It's-
it tries to usually combo as soon as possible, or whenever the player gets a choice to hands down and has a window of opportunity, just going for it as soon as possible against aggressive decks, and whenever it's the
Whenever
best
it's free,
choice
yeah.
against the more control variant.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, the control decks, we also have those. And now we can give you the idea of the people who will be presented in
We
the
are gonna
next
see some names.
round. So one of them will be the Yoshimaru Sylas player
Yes.
that we've seen today.
Williams.
Martin Vilnas, very good. And we also already saw his deck, although it did not really succeed in the match we saw. I believe
lost,
so.
right?
It lost the feature match
Yeah, and
against another Yoshimaru player, against the Yoshi and Crown.
but now I believe he won, so he's
Right.
in the top 8, right?
That's right. He's still in top 8. You can lose, but you can still get through to the finals. And the second,
We most likely saw one of the two or the only loss of the deck.
right? That's
Which is
possible. We just
kinda-
saw the only loss.
Ironic.
Well,
Yeah.
you need to love them at their worst as well to enjoy them at their best. And on the other side, we will see another Tamyo
Yep.
in the hands of Marek Mayer.
Yep.
So,
And I just want to confirm
that I'm not basically just telling you some absolutely lost things, or you're
when-
checking with the
about
comments.
the chat. Yes, the Roxy player is indeed Marek Marcik.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. The Roxa, yeah. Checking for friends. We understand that. We do understand.
He has played the deck for years in various iterations. When the cards that comboed with Underworld Breach were still legal, I believe the deck still relies towards the root. You have some options how to combo with Underworld Breach still after the ban of Lotus Petal. But as we see today, the deck still can still put some weight, and I believe he has a chance to compete as well. I hope we get to see it.
Absolutely, I hope so as well. But we will soon get to the feature match, which, once again, to remind you, there is the Yoshimaru and Silas. And against that, good old Tamyo, that we've seen quite a lot of today.
Yeah.
So we will slowly transition to see our players getting ready to start their game.
Yes, I'm curious if we see Tamyo turn 1, Yoshimaru turn 1, Do we know which player is
We
going
will
first?
learn. We will learn
Yep,
soon
yep.
enough. But you're absolutely right that starting is very important in this aggro against control matchup. And if the Yoshimaru player starts, it will be a huge advantage for him. And I think that Martin will be very happy if
Yep.
that is the case. Although we have to say that Martin's build, if we remember, and it's also including black and blue, it has more of a control angle.
Yeah. So it might not succeed in putting as much pressure early, but as a trade-off, the Tamyo might have a slightly more difficult time to get it under control.
Absolutely, because he can just put up some pressure and then protect it with his own counter magic and with his own reactions. So we will see how this whole match turns out and what
Frankly,
can we expect.
I would really want to know which player is starting, because that will affect the outcome. Pretty heavily.
Absolutely. Well, there is still the possibility that our players did not yet roll.
No,
for it?
they are not rolling. They're still.
That's
I
true.
believe.
That's true.
It's,
It's based on the standings.
yep.
So I think we will learn at the same time as the viewers.
Yes.
So by a player starting.
Okay, it's going to be surprise.
Yeah.
I don't want to oversell the going first advantage, because as
Absolutely.
we saw in the previous round, it might not result in a win.
Yeah,
You might
it's,
still lose.
it's
if you're going
definitely
first.
it's definitely not everything. You're absolutely right, but it does give you a nice advantage and a nice start, especially if you're the Yoshi player,
Yeah.
and you can just stick the Yoshimaru in without any interaction coming from the other side.
As well as the other player does the Tamyo.
Yeah,
Start
absolutely.
making clues while not being under so much pressure.
You're absolutely
Or
right.
if he gets to flip the Tameo very early,
Yeah.
he can just run over with the game.
Absolutely. And hopefully we will also see Yoshimaru with a lot of +1/+1 counters coming from the lands. Because
legendary lands.
Legendary lands, because this is what makes and breaks the deck in a way.
Important segue. You need those legendary lands, and I believe the black has quite a nice quality choice.
There
of
are
them.
some options. I can, for example, see the flagstones in there.
Yep, that's
So
legendary.
that is a legendary land.
We saw Urborg earlier.
Okay, and there is a mulligan coming from Martin. Just looking at the top card, maybe it was not good enough.
Yeah.
We will see about Marek on Tamyo if he's choosing to keep or choosing to mulligan.
He looks kind of keepy, I believe.
He looks quite confident with those hands of his.
Both hands.
Both hands, exactly.
and the full
Well, I
cards.
can't see anything else. I can see just the hands on the guy. Okay, and the watch, but both of them have
Yep.
them. Now, it looks very likely for Marek to keep his hand, but as we were told by Lukáš here,
You
piloting
only need like two lands and counterspell.
two lands and a counter
you're
spell,
golden.
and the rest is just nonsense. Basically, you don't care what's the rest. You can have
rest
more
is extra,
lands, more-
basically.
Yeah, it's just extra. Well, probably you want something that works as well, right? But-
Especially if you are on the draw.
right.
Like the slight little mental misstep on
Yeah.
the Yoshimaru. On the
Like
map.
you would like a mental misstep. Okay, and it's Marek
Marek
starting,
starting.
which is very important for the Tamyo player. I don't really want to put Yoshimaru behind, but it will be an uphill battle against that. Now,
bit,
in
from
his
the
hand, I can definitely see Orcish Bowmasters,
And a force spike.
and a Force Spike was also visible in there.
Okay.
Now that's a
Yes,
basic
classic.
plans and Yoshimaru. A classic start, nothing really scary.
Turn one, both players, their commander online.
Yeah.
That's what you want. And because the Tameo cannot affect the Yoshimaru in play as much, the main source is still the interaction. But as we saw, there are some options in the volatile Storm Drake, with Welcome Shackles, etc. Bouncing with spells like Snap.
And there
And-
is the Witness Protection
Yes.
coming to hit Yoshimaru, making him no longer Yoshimaru but a legitimate business person.
The dog just stopped attacking and get the job.
Absolutely, yeah, he got employed. I'm not sure who's employing the dog, but he's doing his best job.
I think Yoshimaru just saw some really bad stuff and had to be protected.
Yeah, he had to be protected, right? There's been a murder around next to him. Yeah.
So instead of 1-1, Martin gets 1-1.
Yes.
But that doesn't have the
Importantly.
growing ability. So
Yeah, so
it
now
is-
the legendary lands are basically useless for
and the
Yoshimaru.
reason why Tamyo really loves those cancel cards and Amphibian Doppler being the second one
Yeah.
is because making opponent's creature 1-1 means that once you flip Tamyo, they are nothing.
Right, absolutely. And especially with decks that are heavily built around the commander, which in case of Yoshimaru is the case.
On Martin's side, though, as you told before, the Orcish Bowmasters.
That is an option
That
there.
is a really good card against Tamyo.
Absolutely, but that was in the previous hand. We are not sure about this one.
Okay, sorry. You confused me talking about the cards. Okay,
It's alright.
sorry.
It might be there.
yeah,
We don't know. Yeah.
Well, I would be happy to see that it is because
I would-
Bowmasters.
Yeah, they are a very
great too.
strong counter to the card draw advantage engine coming
It's
from
like-
Tamyo.
Okay, Tamyo, you wanna sacrifice clues? Here, damage, and my token is big.
Okay,
enough
for
to
2
threaten me.
mana, there will be
Something,
something.
maybe.
Orcish Bowmasters
So it
coming
was this
down.
hand,
It was this,
or-
or he just drew both, but there's Stern Scolding,
Yep.
Lord of the Rings cards
Yeah,
all the way.
We playing Lord of the Rings block here.
Yeah, that would be nice. That's not
Lord
the
of the
case.
Rings. Lord of the Rings.
I would actually love
turn
that.
here. And the stun scolding might be printed just to get rid of the Bowmasters.
Yeah, and it just got rid of a very strong card that would be quite nasty for Marek to deal with
And
otherwise.
Martin consciously played the Bowmasters in his main phase,
Yes.
thinking that his opponent has only 1 mana. So he
Absolutely.
has limited options to counter
Absolutely.
it. But he had the answer.
It's basically just 2, maybe 3 cards, you know, Force Spike could be the option, or Spell Snare, or the Stern Scolding, but still not a lot of options
Now
on
the
Marek's side.
situation is heavily favored towards Marek.
Absolutely.
Because, Martin Vilnas has lost maybe one of the most infocus cards.
Yes.
His dog got a job,
You mean the legitimate business person
Yep.
on our side?
Exactly.
Yes,
and let's see what he can resolve.
absolutely. But the
Against
dog
control
is
deck.
not growing. Okay, there is Denik coming down.
That's great. That's possibly a second card when it gets countered and put in the
Absolutely.
graveyard.
It is an option. We will see if it resolves, but it looks by the hand gesture on Martin's side that he just passed the turn, which would mean that Danik
It
was
might be
resolved.
Danik if the results go, etc.
It's a possible
Or
option
on
here.
Marek's side, just okay, I can't trade. Just let me fetch this.
Could be. We
Yeah.
shall see.
Noticeable is if Danik gets countered and played as a flip side, he is a 3-power flying creature. So
Absolutely.
Tamyo doesn't cannot block.
Yeah,
as
he's a
easily.
3-2, and there
resolves,
is
and
a
there-
dissolve.
Repeal.
Repeal, that's a repeal, sorry.
Repealing, or there's is the force spike.
We will see. Ah, it's a
Oh,
4 spike
nice.
as a response. So
I would-
Martin managed to protect it, though is it a big victory? That's the question.
I don't think the Danik is as good as here. because
Absolutely. Like, okay,
Doesn't grow. Yoshimaru has
Right.
only 2 power. If Tamyo flips it, calls 1
Right.
power creature lifelink, doesn't that matter?
and you don't really care about the lifelink in this case.
Maybe if Martin Lunas.
And there is upkeep on Martin's turn.
But-
Marek plays Vandalion click.
And Martin probably wishes to respond, as you can see. But I want to say that I would prefer Martin casting Danik on turn 2
Mm-hmm.
and then trying to resolve Bowmasters and have it covered by the post spell.
And there is an attempt to counter the click, which was responded to by spell. Spell Pierce, that's the card. It's too many counter spells, I'm sorry. Okay, now the Vandalion click revealed the hand.
Yeah, this is Niambe.
Yeah, there is the Niambe.
Niambe.
And also,
the Kutsil's flanker.
absolutely, yes.
Nice
I'm lost on
choices.
names.
Niambe returns a creature control into your hand.
Which would be very nice with returning Yoshimaru and allowing you to actually
Yeah.
play it again.
Like, Yoshimaru, sorry, you have got to lose to your job. You have
Yeah.
Tamyos to bite.
And also,
the Kotzel Flanker is a really nice flash threat that
Absolutely.
might put some trouble.
It might, because Niambe is coming down, so that the Yoshimaru will still remain
It's
a legitimate business person.
yep, that was a legitimate play
Mm.
because if you are the Tamyo player, really want the dog to keep his job.
Absolutely, absolutely. We want the dogs to be employed in this country, and I 100% agree with the fact that if you would just let it grow again, it would be a problem.
Yeah, sure. And though I'm not as Minamo coming in,
Yeah, Minamo does not really do much in this case again,
it is a legendary land.
which
Sadly, doesn't.
which sadly does not really work together with legitimate business people.
Okay. Kotzel's Flanker. Let me see that. Okay.
Yeah, just
throw
remind me what does it do?
I'll almost throw it in his face.
Yeah, just
Yeah, and-
catch.
3 modes. It's put counter on it for each creature that left battlefield this turn.
Yeah.
It is a graveyard and some other third choice.
Gains you life and scries you,
Yep.
just like
Okay, that's
a
it.
safe choice. And then there is the
There is the
block, so a trade. Danik will trade for the Vandalion click, or the other way around. And Marek will take
really
1
curious about
damage.
it.
I'm not
Marek
really
seemed
sure.
to like keep the board as low as possible on Martin's side.
it looks
but on
like
the other
it.
hand, the Danik is maybe better value in the graveyard to cast
Absolutely.
back as a disturb, threatening another counter.
It means that
forcing
Marek
another
must be prepared to get rid of the Danik from the graveyard.
Or
Or counter it on
have
the stack.
too many counter spells to count because, or planning to flip Tamyo because he knows the coast is clear, presumably because he doesn't know only one card on Martin's side,
And there's Gitaxian Probe, just to
which
be sure.
flips the Tamyo. And
Absolutely.
also shows if the hand is clear. And we see island on
Yeah,
Martin's
just
side.
a
He don't have
meager
anything,
islands.
nothing important.
Nothing
so the
really.
Tamyo is free to flip. And as we predicted earlier, the Yoshimaru is now doing his job slightly worse.
Well, absolutely worse, because as Tamio grows and uses the plus ability, the creatures on Martin's side are just 1 attack weaker, which makes the 1/1 very sad.
He might want to stay home.
Yeah, he
He's
might
feeling
try.
kind of sick.
I think there is a home office coming for him.
Just trying to.
Or potentially just attack to assert dominance in this
Yeah.
position. Send a message to the Tamio. I'm not
or
sure.
maybe Marek won't remember the trigger, right?
Might be the case. I'm not sure if that would happen. Martin just chose to pass.
Yep.
Uh,
The Godzilla
Yeah,
is
it's a
most likely
flasher.
the only hope to do something meaningful.
Right.
Because Tamio is now firmly in the driver's seat. We got 6 counters on air, so 2 turns till the ultimate, 5 mana worth of lands and 2 clues.
Yeah.
And additional card
He's
advantage.
just drawing cards and getting there, and Martin
And
needs to
drawing
do
cards
something.
in man phase, which means he on one hand maybe has all the interaction he needs, or maybe just kind of slightly desperately digging for additional land drops.
Might
which
be,
would,
might be.
really help him in this situation.
Maybe he's in such a comfortable position that he can dig for lands without any problem.
We are gonna see, considering the Kutzel's Flankler is resolving. That maybe mean that Marek just sucked the clue to find something.
Might be the case.
He apparently didn't get the right answer.
At least he did not get a counter spell. There still might be some instant interaction
Yeah.
coming his way.
But also it is not a counterspell, which is the most like interaction.
There is Graveyard Exile coming from the flanker to Marek's Graveyard. Not really sure how much value does that add to
Well,
Martin.
the problem is the Kutzel's Flanker is a free power creature.
Yeah.
The Tamyo only takes 1 power. So
That's
it means
true.
unless Marek has some sort of answer, the Kutzel's Flanker can pressure her.
Absolutely.
And, force her to go down and not
just dig
go
for
for the
cards.
ultimate.
Absolutely.
So Tamyo will be probably used as a -1, as we saw
Yeah.
later in the earlier game, minusing to return the high value counter
Yeah.
spells and cards.
And there was the attempt to cast the Danik, which was promptly dealt with by Wash Away.
Yeah, so
because Wash Away
Marek
works nicely
has
on those
something.
kinds of cards.
but decided not to counter the Quetzal's flanker.
Right. He just chose to get
Because
rid
he
of
had
Danny.
the free mana. He could
Yes.
also use it. Most likely because he also has something for 2 mana, or used the 2 mana to sacrifice the clue. So he, on that turn, or
Now there was 2 damage coming to Tamyo, but there is an instant reaction with the Ice Fanged
Quattro.
Quattro? Okay.
Quattro, yeah, the winged snake thing.
Yeah. The Ice Fang Wing Snake thing.
Yes. With the detach, not really meaningful.
That's
'cause
super
the
relevant.
Quetzal's flanker is 1 toughness.
But it's a card draw and it's a trade. Potential
Meaning
trades.
The Tamyo is out of the danger.
Well, there is still
Maybe.
potential for Martin to react, and he will face out the
Yep.
card by Galadriel's gift, I believe, is the card?
Yep.
Dismissal,
Dismissal.
that's it. Galadriel's Dismissal.
Galadriel's the gift is also a card, I believe, but
Potentially.
not this one.
Potentially.
That it wasn't the best answer. We see that Martin's deck is not really pulling through that well, because in this situation, every single piece of other interaction of removal was way better.
Yeah.
Because you put 2 damage into a dent into Tameo, but you didn't solve the situation.
Absolutely.
The Ice Fang Quattro is back again, presenting as a blocker, and there has to be some other answer Martin has to
I don't
provide.
even know what Martin can find just to help him out. There has been brainstorm from Marek digging deeper
This
to
is
find
not
some
the
answers.
case of if Martin has some kind of play, or on the Marek side, if it
Yeah.
lets it resolve in time. Okay.
There is Nadu coming down, the winged
Wow.
wisdom itself.
Yeah, flying creatures all around.
It's a 3/4, and especially with the Tamyo.
Please don't tease
There
me
is
with the
an
Shuku
option.
check.
Now Shuko check.
Please don't give me hope.
We will do a quick Shuko check for Marek Meyer, just to see if there is hope for Honza to see the combo.
I don't believe it is.
Did it? Have you seen the Modern Horizons 3 Pro Tour?
Yep.
Did you get enough of the Shuko?
Not really.
Not
because
enough.
I'm doing it to other players on a regular basis.
My. What a Shuko you are. Unfortunately, there is no Shuko in the list.
Yeah, I don't. Okay.
It's
I'm not
usually.
even hoped anymore.
Yeah, well, you can.
Wait, there is an attack. I believe the Tamyo blast, so there is no threat from attacking Yoshimaru, I believe, unless there is some trick.
There might be a
We
trick
are not
coming.
gonna see Embercleave though.
Well, no, we are not in the colors
Because
for
it,
it.
it would look like Embercleave from my side.
Yeah, but I think it was just an attempt to maybe scare Marek by Martin, because like, what else can you do with the one legitimate business person?
Just be sad.
Just be sad, really, because
Wish for the number to come back.
yeah, wish for them to retire and maybe come to their own self again.
And since Martin used the Galadriel's gift, which would ironically be much worse now the Nadu is in play. It's like
Yeah.
3 cards again. And this is a curious situation when we either go into the I am trying to ultimate
Yeah.
meal, unless there is the Nadu. So yeah, it was a joke.
Yeah, the Embercleave was a joke. It was a
We
joke.
saw,
Last round
Embercleave
it was there.
multiple times today, Embercleave, and the attack with 0-1 Yoshimaru.
Damn! Being cast as an attempt to deal with Nadu without it
not-
being triggered. Yeah.
Not targeting anything that not targeting.
Also, importantly, if it resolved, well, big emphasis on the word if,
Yeah.
is the fact that Yoshimaru could be brought back, though I'm not sure how good would that be in this state.
Yeah.
For 3 mana, a 1/1 dog.
Well, it turns on anything, any like land, legendary land,
Yeah.
with being a potential threat. It is not good. This is the disadvantage, as I said before, of the 1 mana commanders.
Absolutely.
They are great because they are turn 1.
Suspend.
Yeah.
That's a great card. I love to see that.
That-
I love the card.
Yep. I
And
Void.
getting
Force
a
of negation.
force of negation. Now, Nadu is suspended.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to cast that.
Well, the dam can reset the Yoshimaru, so he doesn't probably
Does
let that
he
happen.
care?
But firing a force of negation for that, no, I don't
I
think
would
so.
not. Yeah, he's just celebrating. Martin
Yeah.
is celebrating the fact that he's gonna get this Yoshi back.
He basically played a board wipe just to set his 1-1
To
commander
kill his
free.
own commander. Yeah.
Yes, he
I think Martin is trying to say, damn.
Yeah, exactly.
Now ponder
Nadu,
on side of
Nadu
Mark.
got the trigger last 4 turns to come back, and meanwhile the board is clear for the Tamyo
Absolutely.
to safely, presumably safely, get to the ultimate. Because next turn, Yoshi comes into play. I think
Does it really matter?
it is almost time for the game 2, I believe.
I believe so as well. I don't want to predict. There could be some hasty thread. There could be some interesting thing.
We maybe have some clue left, even.
I'm clueless on that, but I think there might be just one.
Something below the Tamyo.
It looks like
And
it.
6 mana open, some cards in hand.
Regardless, the ultimate is coming next turn, basically. And I'm not really sure if Martin could do
removal spell.
anything about it.
But once the ultimate comes, it is loss of time, basically.
It's absolutely
to
brutal.
play the game out.
Yeah, and he's got a single card
see.
and Yoshimaru. Lurus of the
Okay.
Dream Den.
There can be some gas. I
No.
really cannot believe what or remember if there's
I
something
don't
relevant.
remember what exactly is present in the graveyard, but I do not think that there is enough.
Nope. Bowmaster.
Bowmasters, okay. It's-
Pink Tamyo for once, so it cannot ultimate.
well, it's only during his turn, the ability.
Yeah, but you play it, you
Yeah.
shoot it for 1.
I
And
know.
you decrease the
Or you just let him ultimate.
or you could counter it.
Yeah,
And
it's
it
true.
does
It will be
nothing.
countered. But you could just let him ultimate with the Bowmasters in play. That would be fun.
Yeah,
I think Marek would not ultimate at that point.
well, it is what 7, 8 p.m. and we
Yeah,
have
yeah.
played the whole game.
It's a bit late,
And
it would
I
be
was,
fun.
I was mentioned that one player has already ultimate into the Bowmasters.
My lord.
Not in ultimate in place, but just the Bowmasters was cast in response. to
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
ultimate.
yeah. That's brutal.
It was-
That's brutal.
It is
That's
not-
how you kill people.
Yeah, this is ultimate. I win the game. No, you lose the game.
Yeah, and I think this is scoop on the side of Martin, actually realizing that Marek resolved the ultimates of Tamyo.
Well, even so, he has a cat in play, and he's supposed to play the dogs. So,
That's right, that's right. It's a bit unorthodox to bring a
wrong
cat.
creature type.
Yeah, that's a wrong creature type. You're absolutely right.
Lurus might be ironically one of the good cards in the deck.
Absolutely.
Because,
Absolutely. This is the power you get from playing black with Yoshimaru.
Yep.
You can get access to such a ridiculously good card.
Yeah, Lurus is great, even as a card in the deck and not a companion, just because it can recast all your good cards as you see in the form of Bowmasters, and also the every single cheap legendary
Right.
creature.
It's just a lot of value in just one. Well, small. It's still 3 mana, 3/2 with lifelink. It's not
Yes.
that bad. But the ability to just recast it is fantastic. Now, we are going to see game 2.
Yeah, this game was decided by domination.
Absolutely.
Yoshimaru didn't get much attacking.
Absolutely.
He decided he wants none of it. and
Yeah, Yoshi chose business, I suppose, instead of fighting.
Yeah.
And now we are going. Yeah, exactly. He became a legitimate business person.
But now Martin is on the play, and we see because now the Tamyo was on the play, and it kind of helped.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Martin didn't have a cheap removal option other than the Bowmaster to like pressure or some
Sure.
affect the board state in a meaningful way.
Yes.
The Danek didn't do anything much.
I'm not even sure why fight for Danik
Well,
with the counters.
you want to resolve something.
Yeah.
And by going to turn 4, the force spike is becoming more and more
Right,
useless.
right. You're right. It stops being as useful as
It
it
makes
is
sense.
normally.
I would much rather see Danik cast on turn 2.
Absolutely.
I don't know if that was the option, but Danik cast on turn 2, and then the attempt of casting Orchid Bowmasters on instant speed, preferably, and covered by the force
Yeah.
spike in case your opponent. Basically, maybe in response to Kekken Clues, this is the best time to cast Bowmasters.
100%
Yeah.
in this case. Like Bowmasters is one of the core cards that Martin really needs to get.
Yeah.
To get in this match.
Even sweeter if you manage to cast Bowmasters in response to the Brainstorm.
Absolutely.
Or some other attempt to flip Tamyo in one go, because instead of I'm flipping Tamyo, you get 3 damage to Tamyo and it dies.
Yes, that's absolutely true. And honestly, I love the idea of seeing a lot of different options. But you can see I see like Teferi for 3 in the hands. I also saw a lot of nice creatures on Martin's side, but not a lot of lands. I believe this was a mulligan due to the lack of lands on Martin's side.
Again.
Which is a bit unfortunate.
You think the Esper version might not be so consistent, and not in the sense of putting pressure early, but also in what cards do you have? Because if you have just lands and counter spells and not even any legendary lands, do you really keep that hand thinking your commander, the reason you play this deck is 1-1?
Well, yeah, I understand your point in this case. Like, you need quite a specific set of things.
If you play, for example, the Boros version or the Naya version, your whole deck is pressure.
Yeah.
You have aggressive cards,
100%.
aggressive legendary cards, etc. If you have this mid-range control,
it's more controlling, 100%.
Your hand might not be good enough, because
It's true.
Outside of Tamyo, that in comparison, Tamyo provides you with the card advantage from the start.
Certainly.
And Yoshimaru doesn't. He provides you with pressure. And if he doesn't grow enough, he cannot provide the pressure. So he's not that useful.
That's what we saw in the first
game.
game.
You need to mulligan in order to Yoshimaru to be good. Or
But
maybe this is the weakness of this version.
Exactly, and as I was saying, that's what we saw in the first game,
so I
by just stopping Yoshimaru in his tracks by the witness protection. Completely destroyed the deck.
Okay,
Now,
this is a
again,
Mulligan.
going down to 5
I believe
on Martin's side.
it had to be one lander, because
Could be.
I saw a Mana Confluence and also Shadow Spear. Which
Okay.
both cards are pretty much a reason to maybe consider
They are
keeping
very
the hand,
fantastic, but
And-
it's possible it was one lander on play.
since you one lander in play, even if
Yeah.
you can follow up with the Shadow Spear, that doesn't do enough.
It does not do
to,
enough.
justify.
Absolutely. You're going against the odds. You might be hoping, but I think that a solid hand of 5 can still be much better than just a weak one-lander.
It's going to be slightly tough. but,
Absolutely.
Having a really good opener beats having 7 cards with just
100%, 100%. And hopefully,
Oh man, I see.
yeah,
I
I've
see
seen
bad-
I see
I see
a
bad
lot
things.
of I see mental misstep in
Yes.
there. I also seen Urza Saga on the side of Marek, but definitely there is mental misstep, which means that Martin's initial plan to just get on Yoshi is not good enough.
Yeah.
But he's going down to 4. I haven't seen a single land
It's-
maybe
it's
in
5.
the land.
It's 5, man.
Now it's going down to 4.
This is 4?
This will be 4.
I believe it's 5.
This is the third mulligan he's doing.
Yeah. Okay. So this is.
I believe so, at least. I might have miscounted.
got
But if
6,
I'm not
5.
mistaken, I think
I believe you got
he's going down to 4 cards now.
in the top 8.
In the
of
top
the
8.
biggest dual commander.
You're absolutely right. Going down to 4 in the top 8 of the Dual Commander series here in Prague, fighting for the championship now, still trying to survive.
And notice that I believe in the previous rounds you could still fight for the as big position as
Right
possible.
now it's single elimination.
Yes. This time, if you lose, you're out. You have nice prizes because
Yeah.
you got top 8. You
Right.
are
Dual lands are basically certain for
you
you.
are exhausted but happy.
But now let's see.
Yeah.
I think if I'm not sure if I miscounted, but he should be putting down 3 cards. And I think I see Bowmasters in there. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to put down 3 cards.
Bowmaster might seem something that can.
Yeah, that's just brutal. Going down to 4, and Marek just kept a solid, possibly solid hand
So
of
possibly
5, so
Martin
7.
goes Yoshimaru, gets the mid-step, Marek goes Tamyo, and Martin can also maybe play the Bowmasters to some
I
extent.
don't really know what can Martin do in this case, because he will just
Look,
fetch.
look.
He'll fetch. Well, certainly.
Wait.
He's just thinking.
He's thinking about fetching, and Marek just is on the edge of his seat.
Yeah, Marek is just preparing to
say-
go for it.
To say
Yeah.
no.
I think he's just letting you like first fetch, please.
Yep. To
Yeah.
put on the
The land
Yes.
itself. Yeah, like honestly, I do like to shortcut, but if you play 3 colors, I think
Yeah.
you should show which land you
I
use.
would not want to prolong the pain. in
But
the
this
situation.
is just brutal.
Yeah.
He kept a hand of 4, and now he lost his most important tempo piece
Yep.
in the matchup, which is his commander Yoshimaru, ever faithful.
Yeah, you can say the losing the job from the previous round was a bit of a misstep.
I think, yeah, absolute misstep. Well, now Yoshimaru can't get a break, honestly. He came back from the retirement from his job. Well, he came to the retirement, sort of. Stopped being a business person, but
I want to see
now...
Bowmasters
there's
and
no option for me.
and something.
And now-
Bowmasters themselves basically deny pretty much the advantage.
Here we have
is-
Flagstones, which is a nice land with Yoshimaru, but it doesn't do much.
No,
Now,
just-
Brazen Borrower just bouncing Tamyo back,
Thieving her
maybe
mentally.
just doing a little bit. I'm not even sure how much does this achieve, honestly.
It
There's a
it
pawn
prolongs
there.
it prolongs. It
That's
gives him
right.
some time. Delays the card advantage from Tameo.
You're
from
right,
turn.
you're right.
And also, Marek has now the option either recard Tameo at only 1 land, which basically usually is enough
Yeah.
for some kind of interaction, but he won't have in that case an option to cast 2 mana interaction.
You're absolutely right.
So Martin kind of, you either get your Tameo back, or I get maybe a free turn, which I so desperately need.
Absolutely. Also, we have to consider the fact that Martin is not working with a lot of cards. Now he has only 2 cards and the Brazen Burrow on Adventure,
Okay.
which will allow him to do stuff. Now,
Boseiju.
Shadow Spear
And Boseiju, so now
and Boseiju, okay, that's not super crazy. Well, he doesn't have the ability to use it, channel, but still, Shadow Spear,
the Shadow Spear
can be
is
brutal.
now oddly effective against the Brazen Borrower.
Absolutely.
Because Borrower can block and kill Tameo, but now the Tameo is 1/4
Right.
and it kills Brazen Borrower.
Right, absolutely.
So it is not good anymore.
And also the lifelink can be quite important in this matchup, because even though this Yoshi build is more controlly, it is still technically more aggressive than Tamyo.
The aggression and the damage is what your commander provides. If you manage
Absolutely.
to deny that or offset that, then you have incredible advantage over your
Absolutely.
opponent. And also, we saw in the first game, if you recall, after the Harbinger of the Tides hitting play, we got Wendelin Plague with Shadow Spear.
That's
causing out the
true,
game.
that's true.
So I don't think if this card is played at least partially, thanks to the Urza Saga being present in the list.
I think that might be the case quite a lot.
if
You
you-
really want to find via the Urza Saga.
Speaking of,
Yeah,
because
the call.
yeah. Because if you don't have Urza Saga, do you play Shadow Spear?
I'm
What?
not
Wait,
really sure.
what?
Now, I'm not sure what that card was.
That was a miscalculation,
Miscalculation, okay.
and it was cycled.
Yeah, cycled miscalculation
Which I don't
and Tamyo.
really understand that well. What is going on?
Also interesting play on Martin's side, quite conservative. He chose to play his flashy Brazen Borrower in his main phase to achieve, basically the fact that the Borrower will actually hit the table.
Most likely.
Yeah, well, he did, because Marek was tapped out and it resolved, but still. it was an interesting choice to not play around, try to bait it at the end of his turn, or like Marek's turn.
The Tamyo is not attacking for the next turn because it was in hand, so you can pretty much run out the present borrower on your
Absolutely.
turn because you still want to cast it as soon as possible to try to get at least some damage in.
Here,
But that plan of attacking and try to bring opponent's white people down is pretty tough to achieve with the Urza Saga in combination with Shadow Spear. Because
Absolutely.
you start creating tokens, you start creating clues, you can equip those tokens to
Yeah.
have a big lifelink
and those
trampler.
Urza tokens will grow
Yep.
quite fast. And Marek can just easily choose to use the Urza Saga twice to make 2 tokens
which
and
will
just
most likely be the
run
case,
with the game.
because he just has the option to abuse
Absolutely.
the fact that
And
Martin has very few cards.
Exactly.
And
Martin
if
even
you-
had to pay
if-
Yoshimaru for 3.
If Martin would play as a 7
Yes.
7-card hand Yoshimaru, he would play threat after threat.
It might be a little different, but we need to remember a keep of 4 cards on Martin's side. It was brutal.
And the Marek was the one who missed land drops, not the Martin.
That's
Apparently.
actually true.
And has the 5th one.
Yeah,
So
that's
Martin
true.
is, you could say, a bit
Flooded. It's also flooded, which is a brutal thing to happen to you when you're just on 4 cards.
Low amount of cards. Your
No.
commander is not even legendary, right?
Right. I would love to see any option for Martin to get out of this
He has,
mess.
I think, 2 cards.
He's got 2 cards in his hand.
something.
But as we mentioned a moment ago, the Urza Saga with the Shadow Spear is going to run away with the game regardless of cards in Marek's hand. But we can see plenty of them. He's got about 5 or 6 cards.
Gigs.
And now Giggs is coming down. Maybe this will allow Martin to get some card draw. Although I believe that Marek does not really want to allow that.
Wait. He resolved?
Did it resolve? Okay.
I believe Marek is only one blue land. Is his kind
That's true.
Stifled? On
That's true.
mana?
Kinda.
Oh, they kind of sped up.
Also-
maybe Marek wants to interact.
Also, it's very important to see that Marek missed a land drop, and one of his
Again,
lands is Urza Saga, which will blow up next turn.
Yep. Well, to some effect, but
Yes,
and
yes.
we see the snap,
There is a snap.
which is a fine piece of interaction that does both things. Deal with the gigs and the card advantage it threatens
That's
to
true,
provide,
that's
and
true.
also untaps the Ursa Saga. So the plan on putting
Right.
out those 2
He
tokens
can still get 2
is
tokens.
still
Right.
in line.
But I mean, even if Marek chokes on 2 mana, I don't really think it's a problem for him. Because he has got the clues, he has got the Shadow Spear, he can
it
just run away
is
with the
a
game.
problem, but he is still in way better position.
Absolutely.
Because of the sheer card advantage.
Absolutely.
Thanks to just keeping 5 lands.
Yeah, now there is the trigger probably on the stack after Marek drew a card, so he'll
response.
make another construct, and now he's going to blow up his Urza Saga
4/4, about to be most likely 5/5.
5/5 and then 6/6.
Yeah,
If Tamyo attacks again, which is probably likely.
exactly. Before the damage is dealt.
Now
So,
what? Another well, there are usually 2 targets for it. Now I would love for it to be Shuko, but it's probably not that. There was the lantern I've seen. That's 1 mana. And
not
that's
necessarily.
about it. I haven't seen anything else
no
in his deck.
bubbles.
I haven't
They are
seen a
usually,
bubble.
Often played to help flipping.
No, I haven't seen a bubble.
Marek,
I have only seen a lantern.
Marek goes through the deck again.
He is trying to find
some
it, but there was only the lantern, as I said.
Lantern and Shadow Spear.
Well, yeah,
Because
lantern and Shadow Spear, and because he drew the Shadow Spear,
That might be relevant for the future turns.
could be,
No,
could
for
be.
us.
Yeah,
If
that's
we-
true. Yeah, like for seeing Marek in yes, you're absolutely right. But the fact is that now there should be blue bubble. What do we mean by blue bubble?
Well, no blue bubble can be searched because there finds only generic mana artifacts.
Right.
Maybe thought about the Misha's bubble or Urza's bubble, which like, honestly they are the ones that I would put in the deck because
Yeah.
they help tremendously with flipping
Absolutely,
Tamyo as
they
soon as
help you
possible.
flip Tamyo.
Yeah.
But
Apparently not. Apparently
well,
there's no
maybe you don't have to.
no good
depends.
bubble here.
But there has been attack, and as we were saying, the constructs are growing very quickly.
Notably without Shadow Spear because there's not
Not enough
for that.
mana, but importantly, Marek also drew another land, so he's stabilizing on mana.
Yep. No.
There are six construct. They will run with the
gigs.
game.
6 and gigs.
6 and gigs, but I'm not sure if this gigs is good enough.
Yeah. It needs some.
I think there has been a miss trigger on Yoshimaru, but that's not really that important for us.
Okay. Yeah.
It should have gotten a +1/+1 counter.
Yeah, but
Not
the
super
gigs
important.
was returned to hand, so maybe he'll have a
He'll have a chance to
chance.
try it again next turn.
Yeah.
But I don't even know if that's good enough.
Wait.
That will be Pippin again.
Yes.
But I don't really see
there
enough.
we go.
There we go. There is the counter.
Yoshimaru woke up, still kind of dizzy from
Yeah,
drop.
yeah. Little sleepy. It's still a good boy.
Okay, now 8/8.
But now I don't really see any
8/8
way
lifelink.
for him. Yeah, 8 lifelink trample. I
Puts
don't
an end
know.
to any hopes
Yeah,
getting tempo up.
and he'll be
Smack and
he'll
smack.
just need to block with the Pippin, the bigger construct, because
This is lethal.
otherwise it's lethal.
And one of them is trample.
Or maybe he can do it with Yoshimaru, but still he has to just chomp the construct that does not have the Shadow Spear. That's a brutal situation for Martin, and I think it will not allow him really to get back into the game, because the construct with Shadow Spear will gain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 life, if I'm counting correct.
Well, you got 3 clues. 4, 5, 6, 7,
And 8 plus 1.
Yes.
8 life, which is,
Indeed.
yeah.
From
So
9
Marek is
to 17 against 3 on Martin's side, it's look dire from
I
VR.
think I'm sorry for
interesting
our Yoshimaru fans. I'm sorry. Me, myself, I'm very sad about that.
Well, we get some other Yoshimaru, so you don't have to be that sad.
Well, I'm sad
Okay.
for every single
Yeah.
lost dog.
And this is
And
it.
this is it. It's the
Okay.
end. So Martin scooped quite logically and understandably in the situation that was super dire for him. And we have Marek Meyer coming up to the semifinals.
And notably, another win for the Tamyo.
That's true. It's another win for Tamyo. Maybe we'll be actually seeing more and more Tamyo.
against Yoshimaru as
Once
well.
again against Yoshimaru. So once again with the Moonfolk bullying the dogs. You heard it here first. You should ban the Tamyo because it's bullying dogs.
Go Peta.
Yeah, well, don't call them. They will just put down the dog. But don't call Pira. Sorry for that. But we really need to protect our dogs against those aggressive moonfolks out there.
Do something. Are we gonna have some kind of interview? Maybe?
I think we can try that. I can ask for that.
How many times do we have?
Do we have time? We do have time.
Okay. So let's have a just quick few minutes pause. Or there is indeed something spicy. Let me just tell you. We get, I don't know how this round ended up. So those players are might not be in play anymore. But we got Golos. We got the Rograk Silas. And there is a bunch of one-offs. There was only 3 Tamyos and 2 Slime Foods. Yeah, there is the top 16, thank you. So the meta, as you might see in the stream, is much more diverse than just Tamyos against other decks. Okay, so here you go. Okay.
And we will have Marek here for an interview.
Welcome.
Unfortunately, Marek, we have to say the unfortunate truth. Twice on the feature match, twice a loser. It's a little sad, but still, I loved your deck.
Okay,
To be
okay,
honest, it was
okay,
very
thanks.
fine.
Oh
Now,
my God, Mulligan to 4.
Yeah.
What
The
happens?
Mulligan to
Lands?
4.
Yeah, because I got just like one fetch land in the first one.
Mana confluence in second.
Yeah, and mana confluence in the second, and then swamp in the third. So
Yeah, it was
and nothing
phenomenal.
more. So I really had to. It
Or-
wasn't
yeah.
there.
Yeah,
That wasn't
yeah.
chance I could keep.
Sometimes happens. Yeah.
And the cases, those mulligans were, I think, justified. And if I kept one lander,
Definitely.
then I would be stuck. As you saw, I got misstep in addition. So-
We saw that in the Marek's hand previously.
Okay.
So we fully expected you to be set even more
Yeah.
after that will come up. You had already Bowmasters in 2 of those hands.
Yeah,
but
I got both.
in
Yeah.
the third.
Uh-huh.
In the game 1, I want to ask you something. Was there an option to cast the Danik on turn 2? Because the Tamyo player had only 1 mana left, so you might expect that he doesn't have answer of a counter spell for a creature card.
Yeah.
But you
Besides
had
turn
the-
scalding
yeah,
or
yeah,
the one.
Yeah.
that he
Yes.
can. So yeah.
Or the spell snare, but the Bowmasters might look, or at least from our point of view, as a more impactful card in the matchup.
And I cast actually the Nick.
Yes.
Instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have it protected with the force point.
Yeah. And the cases, I really thought that I might be able to use Bowmaster later,
Yeah.
just in response to him fetching the clue.
Sacrifice. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
sacrificing the clue.
Yeah.
Because
Or ultimating.
that's
Tamyo.
That's the dream, right?
that almost happened in the game 1.
Yeah.
If he hadn't, he wouldn't probably.
We just were saying like now he can ultimate. It's an option.
That would be something I would really cheer for.
Yeah.
But actually, he's not stupid, so
Yeah. He might be tired.
It's round 9.
yeah.
So
Magic happens.
Yep.
Yeah.
Actually, I never. Okay, if you just ask me which deck would I prefer, if Tamyo or was it Flage, the red
Flage?
red
Yeah.
black? Yeah, I'm really scared of Flage, and
Yeah.
and I managed to defeat him, I think twice today.
removal in the command
And
zone.
yeah, and Tamyo is kind of favorable matchup for me as from what I have played on Modo. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I wasn't bad. I was like really looking forward to this game because I didn't see anyone countering anything whole day, and yeah, he just
It's a pure
explained
truth.
it to me.
The
Honestly,
Kajiro Hoy
it's
said the
just-
same thing, that the Yoshimaru, not especially your version, of course, but Yoshimaru is one of the most difficult matchups for me.
Yeah, because it's very aggressive and quite consistent.
Yeah.
But I have to appreciate your approach to the Yoshimaru deck. Because, you know, I'm more of the traditional kind of Bruce style and Boros style, but I really liked the options that the blue mana and even the black mana gave you. Like Pippin, for example, the K9 was just fantastic.
Yeah.
And especially Bowmastering and those cards. Do you find it, well, we are trying to give like analysis on it, that it's just a little slower than the Bruce style, but more reactive?
Actually, I started to play white black Yoshi,
Yeah.
and it was somehow different than the red one, which I tried as well, but it was just too much aggro. And once you just got the board cleared, which in this meta is quite often,
Yeah.
then you are just fucked. So sorry my English. And then
Thanks.
like somehow I found Silas, and I say, okay, there's so many good cards that is either white, blue, or black, blue.
Yeah.
So let's try to fit it in, and it works because you have card advantage. You can draw shitloads of cards if
Yeah.
you have the right draw, of course.
Right.
And you are not as fast, but you're reactive. And against deck like in the top 16, I played against Jory,
Yeah.
which is quite a difficult matchup for the white red one. But this one I was able to manage the damage, manage the cards, and that's what the deck does actually. I'm really bad against the Felden card, and even really bad against white red.
Because you're
It's a classic
quicker
Yoshimaru.
Yeah.
to handle.
He's just faster.
Yes.
Right.
I can manage it.
But I really like the approach, for example, with kicks. You know,
Yeah.
there's a lot of options to draw a lot of cards. Just get the
But
advantage.
aside of the free mana spells, you know, there is a possibility of having a Miara along with Yoshimaru and having Lurus as a companion.
Okay, I haven't thought about it actually.
That's a nice option. You can think
Back to
about
your deck. Is there any other cards? We saw you are I think one of the two players we saw twice on the stream
yeah,
today.
that's true.
Actually, is there some really good card we haven't seen yet?
Something
that's
you're
why
very
are you
proud of.
playing
Yeah.
black or playing
I think
blue?
like the last two additions to the deck that I was really thinking about, and then they actually overperformed their Sick, the River Cathedral, the two mana legend.
Can we get it?
Yeah, it's a Merfolk 1/3 and Sig the River Cutthroat.
Sig the river. Yes.
Yeah.
The shifted one. Yeah.
The binary mana. something.
Yeah, I know. It's the hybrid, two hybrid
yeah,
mana,
yeah,
and it's
hybrid.
the, like it was the white and blue, and then it, with the, I forgot the name of the plane, but the morning tide when
Yeah,
happened
even
there,
even
just like
something
changed.
yeah,
Yes.
Yeah. And he's quite good because you can play him turn 2, and even if you manage to get 3/3 Yoshimaru.
Yeah.
By legendary land him, so you can draw right away from the second turn.
Yeah.
And then the first two turns are critical generally because if you survive them somehow or with at least something, then you are able to control it with counter spells or something else. And if you have the card draw, this is really good. And the best card of the deck is of course the flowering of the white tree.
That's
But
is
that's the same for the
that
white
is
red.
the card, absolutely.
Because you have a full legend, so they all they get +2, +1, and 1.
Yeah. It's absolutely crazy. I love the card in my deck.
We also seen that's what we have seen perform in one of the matches, the Basim, the new legendary from the Assassin's
He's
Creed.
quite good as
And
well. He's
along
quite-
with Sig, they are kind of a similar stance in a way that they both provide card advantage,
Yeah.
which is a curious approach because most Yoshimaru decks include legends that pressure opponent, but you have an option that conditionally, yes,
Definitely.
but they provide card advantage, so you keep the cast going and can guide better
You
some
got
control matchup.
Dark Confident as well. If you
Yeah,
want to try
yeah,
to
that was there as
throw
well.
more, because he is there. So you just try to stick as many creatures that can provide you the advantage as possible.
Yep.
And really try to.
This
hope
is
and survive.
fantastic because I usually know when you lose with Yoshibru's, it's usually because you run out of gas.
Yeah.
You can't really put on more pressure. They usually don't win faster than you if it's not Felon, for example. And this solves the problem in a way. It pivots the deck in completely different area, but it's fantastic.
And
I really like
you
that.
pay the price by making it slower. of
Yeah,
course.
because you don't play reds, basically.
It's always meta dependent. If there will be like the meta will be full of aggro,
Yeah.
I wouldn't pick this one.
Right.
But in this meta with a lot of Tamyos and
slime
other stuff,
foods,
I
yeah.
just showed that it can be as good as I
You
thought. but
can lose, that's
Yeah,
true,
yeah, of
but still,
course.
it's a
Yeah,
nice
yeah,
miracle.
yeah,
I like that.
Have you played Silas?
Never ever. I used to play something else, and maybe I used to play him some day before, but not in his deck.
Yeah.
But I'm okay. I got like few questions today. Like, is it that I like artifact something? And like, yeah. I play a lot of artifacts and then Doomsday to finish you off. So you should be really scared. And
Yeah.
Yeah, you can abuse this because
Mulligan
people are-
for artifact hate.
like, what is this? Yeah.
And I'm really
it's
proud
fun.
that like I was the only one who played the
Absolutely, this
Desperate
combination
Direct.
was
Yeah,
singleton,
so
right?
That's something that
Yeah, basically the only version that was really like pivoting towards black, I believe.
Yeah.
There was the green splash with Tina. There was also blue splash with Prom.
White
Yeah.
black.
That look was
There was white black. Okay, but there was no like three color with
No.
blue and black as well. So that's the only one we've seen. And like, as I was saying, a lot of times think like you've got another bomb in the deck. You've got Pippin.
Yeah.
Which came quite often actually in your
Yeah,
case.
it does, and usually it does really good
Yeah.
because he can attack, he can protect, so that's what you want
Right.
from this deck. So.
It's absolutely fantastic. All right, we are sorry to let you go as a loser, but it was fantastic.
I'm really glad I made it. to
Mulligan
top
to
eight, so-
4.
Yeah, that was just brutal, but it was fantastic performance.
So
We
you
really
had a pretty
enjoyed
good
it.
run, right?
Yeah, it was like
Something
I-
difficult. You encountered some flage.
Yeah, I played Flage. I managed to defeat him like really bad. I'm sorry, it shouldn't be like that. But
He got cooked. as
he got
well.
good.
Yeah.
He got countered actually because I just managed something to put there, and then it was like counter due to the
Yeah.
counter, and just like trying to keep
As
the board
the deck is
clean.
supposed to go.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, and this was the most like the longest match probably, or I don't know how long we played, but the jury in the top 16 was a really great match, which ended by me top decking flowering for the win.
Oh,
And
That can do that,
yeah,
definitely.
that's what happened. And then it was like Flage, Wilson green, Wilson blue.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Some Cruxa, some the black one, Shelled Red.
But
Yeah.
you've seen a lot of different decks.
Yeah.
Like, as we are saying, especially on the singleton side, there were like 42 singleton decks, which is fantastic. Like a very diverse meta. Even as we said for the top 16.
Yeah.
Okay, there are 3 Yoshimarus, but all of them different.
Yeah.
And also,
3 Tamyos,
okay,
2
3
Slime
Tamios
Foods.
and
Anything
3
else?
2
Oh,
slime
yeah.
foods. But yes, everything else is just singleton. So
The
it's
slivers,
fantastic.
those slivers.
Yeah, there are slivers.
Are they still here? Or-
Well, we don't know how far they got, but
I think they got both eliminated,
That's
or at least
yeah.
one got eliminated in the top 16.
yeah, there was one in the top 16, but we had one on the feature match and we just loved that. Well, especially the
Very
fact
cool,
that
we
we
got
had
to-
no idea what it's going to do because we both missed the Tybalt's trickery in the list, so we did not really know what was the plan.
Okay.
Wasn't there some cascade, but
Yeah.
for what?
Yeah, so cascading into, we'll find
Yeah.
out. It was fantastic. Now, Martin, thank you very much for being
You're
with
welcome.
us. It
Thank
was
you for the commentary. Actually.
fantastic.
This is awesome what you did today. So
Wow, thank you.
yeah,
We need to stay humble, of course. Thank you very much.
all of us.
It was fantastic. So, congratulations on your result. It was very nice.
Perfect.
And I hope to see you on another event.
I will probably try to. give it a
Yeah,
chance.
hopefully it's top 8
Figure
again.
out some new brew.
Yeah.
Yeah, some new meta cards.
Okay.
Now, we will come back to in a couple of moments and we will continue with the semifinals.
Yeah.
Getting very close to the end. Now, see you in a moment. Bye for now.